The best financial advice I ever got didn't come from a uni lecture or a textbook. It came from someone who'd already done it, built real wealth from scratch. And what they told me completely changed how I thought about making money. I used to stress that I'd never stumble across that one genius idea, that revolutionary thing nobody had thought of yet. And they just looked at me and said, "Mate, you don't need to invent the wheel. You just need to figure out what's already spinning and get on it." That stopped me in my tracks. From that point on, I stopped trying to be original and started studying what was actually working for real people right now. And that shift, that one simple mindset change, is what eventually turned my side income into something serious. So today, I want to do that work for you. I'm going to walk you through 7 real examples of everyday Aussies and young people around the world who are making over $150,000 a year from side hustles. So you can see exactly what's working, why it's working, and how you could realistically follow the same path. And yes, I'm bringing back the scrapbook, because I love a good rating system. For each side hustle, I'll be scoring it out of 5 across 3 things: how long it takes to learn, how much money you need to start, and how hard it is to reach $10,000 a month. Let's get into it. Side hustle number 1, eBay reselling. Let's kick off with one that a lot of Aussies completely overlook because they assume it's dead: eBay reselling. Picture this: a young bloke with no real prospects, no financial safety net, and a dead-end casual job that's going nowhere fast. He's sick of it. So one afternoon, he starts listing old stuff around his house on eBay. A dusty games console, some sneakers he never wore, a few bits and pieces from the garage. Within a few weeks, he's made a few $100. So he reinvests it, tests a niche, doubles down, and within 12 months, he's turned a few $100 into well over 6 figures. Sound too good to be true? Here's why it's not. eBay isn't dying, it's evolving. In the most recent financial results, eBay pulled in billions in quarterly revenue, with consistent year-on-year growth. You might not hear much about eBay these days, and that's actually the point. While Amazon went all in on fast delivery and mass-market retail, eBay quietly carved out a completely different lane. Collectibles, vintage clothing, refurbished electronics, trading cards, retro gaming gear, hard-to-find parts. These are categories where buyers actively prefer eBay over Amazon, because Amazon simply doesn't serve those niches well. And here in Australia, that's an even bigger opportunity, because our local eBay marketplace has less competition than overseas. And Aussie buyers are already comfortable using the platform, the strategy that works best right now. Niche domination. Don't try to sell everything to everyone. Pick one category: retro Australiana, vintage surf gear, discontinued homewares, retro tech, and become the go-to seller in that space. Now for the ratings. Time to learn. I'm giving this one out of 5. Pick your niche, spend a month learning how the platform works, and you're off. This is genuinely one of the most beginner-friendly side hustles out there. Money to start. 1 out of 5. Here's the thing most people miss. You're probably already sitting on inventory. Before you spend a single dollar with a supplier, start by listing unused stuff from around your house. Old tech, clothes you haven't touched, collectibles gathering dust. This warms up your eBay account, which affects your search ranking, builds your feedback score, and gives you starting capital. All with 0 upfront cost. Difficulty to hit $10,000 a month. 2.5 out of 5. It's achievable, but it does require consistency. You'll need to stay on top of your listings, keep pricing competitive, and reinvest profits smartly. The good news is, the path is well trodden. Plenty of Aussies have already done it. Side hustle number 2. Brand deal brokering. This one sounds fancy, but the concept is dead simple. And the opportunity right now in Australia is enormous. A brand deal brokering is essentially this. You connect a brand with a content creator, negotiate the partnership, and take a percentage cut. You're the middleman. And as you're about to see, being the middleman can be incredibly lucrative. Think about it. Airbnb doesn't own properties. Uber doesn't own cars. REA Group connects buyers and sellers without building a single house. The middleman model works because it solves a real problem for both sides. And brand deal brokering is no different. Here's what's driving the opportunity right now. Australians are watching more online content than ever before. According to recent data, streaming has overtaken traditional broadcast TV in terms of viewing hours. And YouTube is sitting at the top of the streaming heap, ahead of Netflix, Stan, and every other platform. This means brands that used to pour all their ad spend into Channel 7 or Channel 9 are now chasing YouTubers, TikTokers, and podcasters hard. But here's the gap. Most content creators, especially smaller Australian ones, have no idea how to pitch to brands, write a media kit, or negotiate a deal. And brands? They have no idea how to find the right creators or structure a campaign. That's where you come in. You don't need to have a big audience. You don't need to be a creator yourself. You just need to understand both worlds and be the person who bridges them. Start by following Australian creators in a niche you understand. Fitness, finance, food, lifestyle, whatever you're genuinely interested in. Then research the brands that are already spending on influencer marketing in that space. Reach out, pitch, negotiate, take your cut. One successful broker working with just a handful of mid-sized Australian creators and local brands can easily generate between $5,000 and $15,000 a month in commissions. Now for the ratings. Time to learn. 2 out of 5. You need to understand how creators think and how brands operate. If you're already a regular content consumer, you're halfway there. The other half is learning basic negotiation and outreach. Skills you can develop in a few weeks. Money to start. 0 out of 5. Literally 0. You need a laptop, an email address, and persistence. That's it. No inventory, no software subscriptions, no upfront investment. Difficulty to hit $10,000 a month. 2 out of 5. Let's run the numbers the Australian way. Say you're brokering deals between brands and creators where the average deal is $5,000 and you take a 25% cut. That's $1,250 per deal. You need 8 deals a month to hit $10,000. With 1 or 2 active brand relationships, that's completely realistic. Side hustle number 3. Video editing. This one is right under most people's noses, and it's growing faster than almost any other digital skill. Imagine a uni student staring down a HECS debt that feels like a life sentence, thinking there has to be a better use of their time than whatever degree they're half-heartedly completing. So they grab a laptop and start teaching themselves video editing. Within a year, they're editing content for major Australian brands and international clients, and they've replaced their part-time wage with full-time freelance income, while still technically being a student. That's not a fantasy. That's what's happening right now. Here's why video editing is such a strong play. Video content now makes up the overwhelming majority of all internet traffic. Every business, from your local tradie to ASX listed companies, knows they need video content to stay relevant. But most of them have no idea how to make it and no time to learn. That's the gap. And before you ask, no, AI is not going to make video editors redundant. Not anytime soon. AI can splice clips and sync music, but it can't understand narrative arc, emotional pacing, or what makes an Australian audience laugh, cringe, or lean forward. The editors who will thrive are the ones who use AI as a tool and bring genuine creative instinct to the work. That combination is irreplaceable. As an Australian editor, you've also got a natural advantage. You understand Australian humour, cultural references, and the way we communicate. That's genuinely valuable for any brand trying to connect with a local audience. Now for the ratings. Time to learn. 3 out of 5. Video editing has a real learning curve, but it's not as steep as people think. The beginner mistake is obsessing over flashy transitions and effects. What clients actually want is clean storytelling. Good pacing, clear audio, music that fits the mood, and content that keeps viewers watching. Master those basics first, then level up. DaVinci Resolve is free and industry standard. Start there. Money to start. 1 out of 5. If you've got a laptop, even a mid-range one, you can start. You don't need a powerful machine to edit basic content. Build your portfolio on whatever you have and upgrade your gear with the income you generate. Difficulty to hit $10,000 a month. 3 out of 5. Be honest with yourself. The first few months, you'll be doing smaller jobs for lower rates. That's fine. That's how you build a portfolio and reputation. But once you've got a handful of solid case studies and a few clients who trust you, scaling to $10,000 a month is very achievable. At $2,500 per client retainer, you only need 4 ongoing clients. Many Australian editors are there within 12 to 18 months of starting seriously. Side hustle number 4, branded dropshipping. Dropshipping gets a bad rap in Australia. And honestly, a lot of that reputation is deserved. The old model was brutal. You'd find a cheap product on AliExpress, mark it up, run some Facebook ads, hope someone bought it, then wait 3 weeks for shipping from overseas while your customer emailed you 12 times asking where their order was. Slim margins, high refund rates, constant headaches. But branded dropshipping is a completely different animal. Here's the core difference. Instead of selling a generic product with no story, you build an actual brand around it. A name, a logo, a clear value proposition, a website that looks like a real business. Because it is one. When you do that, something interesting happens. That same product that people won't pay $30 for from a random AliExpress store. They'll happily pay $80 to $120 for it from a brand they trust. Your margins blow out. Your refund rate drops. Your repeat purchase rate climbs. And for Australians, there's an added wrinkle that makes this even more appealing. The domestic e-commerce market is growing fast. Aussie consumers increasingly prefer buying from local-feeling brands, and the competition in many niches is far lower than in the US or UK. Now for the ratings. Time to learn. 4 out of 5. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This takes time. Month 1, you're building your store and testing products. Month 2, you're reading your data and figuring out what's actually working. Month 3, you're starting to scale what's getting results. By month 6, if you've stayed consistent, you should have something generating reliable monthly profit. Think of it as a 6-month project, not a get-rich-quick scheme. Money to start. 1 out of 5. The beauty of dropshipping is you don't pay for stock until after you've made a sale. The main costs are your Shopify subscription, around $50 a month, and your ad spend, which you can start small and scale as revenue comes in. You can genuinely get started for under $500. Difficulty to hit $10,000 a month. 2 out of 5. Let's do the maths. $10,000 a month is $333 a day. If your average profit per order is $35 after ad costs and product cost, you need roughly 10 orders a day. That's not a massive store. That's a focused, well-branded niche store with a consistent ad strategy. Completely achievable with the right approach. Side hustle number 5. Brand identity design. Picture someone who takes a job they hate straight out of school, sitting in a grey office, punching numbers into spreadsheets, watching the clock, knowing there has to be something better. So they go all in on self-education. They devour design tutorials, study branding case studies, and start freelancing on the side. 6 months later, they walk out of that office for the last time. Not because they got fired, because their design income had already outgrown their salary. Brand identity is one of the most underrated yet highly paid creative skills in the market right now. Here's the thing. There are thousands of designers on Fiverr offering logos for $20. But that's not what brand identity is. Brand identity is the complete visual system of a business. The logo, yes, but also the color palette, typography, iconography, brand guidelines, and the overall visual language that makes a company instantly recognizable and trusted. When you deliver that full package, you're not competing with the $20 logo crowd. You're in a completely different market, one where clients pay $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 or more for a single project, because they understand that good branding directly drives revenue. In Australia, this is a massive opportunity. Small and medium-sized businesses are booming. Tradie businesses going national, e-commerce brands scaling up, hospitality groups expanding. Every single one of them needs a visual identity that looks professional. And most of them don't have it yet. The global brand identity market is already worth billions. And it's growing rapidly as more businesses move online and compete for attention. Now for the ratings. Time to learn. 4 out of 5. This one genuinely takes time. Design is a craft, and brand identity in particular requires you to understand strategy, not just aesthetics. You need to be able to explain why you made certain choices, how the colors reflect the brand's values, how the typography communicates the target demographic. But every project teaches you something, and the income potential grows sharply as you improve. Money to start. 1 out of 5. A laptop and Canva or Adobe Illustrator, around $35 a month, is all you need to start. The investment here is time, not money, which makes it ideal if you're a student or in between jobs. Difficulty to hit $10,000 a month. 2 out of 5. Let's say you charge $2,500 for a full brand identity package, which is genuinely reasonable for Australian businesses. You need 4 clients a month to hit $10,000, 1 client a week. As your reputation builds and your portfolio grows, you can absolutely charge more and need fewer clients to hit the same number. Side hustle number 6, short-form content strategy. This one is fascinating because it started with something we all do without even thinking about it, scrolling. But instead of mindlessly consuming content, imagine someone deciding to study it. Every time something made them stop scrolling, they wrote down why. Every hook that grabbed them, every caption that made them click, every format that held their attention until the end. They reverse engineered virality, and then they started selling that knowledge to brands and creators. The result? Over 6 figures before turning 18, with nothing but a phone. Here's why this is such a hot opportunity right now. Short-form content, Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, has completely taken over how Australians consume information. The average Australian is spending hours per day on these platforms. And every brand, every business, every creator knows they need to be there. But most of them have absolutely no idea how the algorithm works, what makes content go viral, or how to consistently produce short-form content that performs. That's the gap you fill as a short-form content strategist. You're not just editing videos, though that's part of it. You're advising on what to post, when to post it, how to hook the viewer in the first 2 seconds, and why certain formats outperform others. You're the person who looks at an account, diagnoses why it's not growing, and fixes it. Australian businesses, local restaurants, fitness coaches, tradespeople trying to go national, real estate agents, are all desperately looking for people who can help them crack short form. And there aren't enough people who can do this well. Now for the ratings. Time to learn. 2 out of 5. If you're already an active social media user, you're further along than you think. The skill is in training yourself to analyze content rather than just consume it. Spend 30 days studying what performs in your chosen niche, and you'll know more than 90% of the business owners you'll eventually pitch to. Money to start. 0 out of 5. Your phone. That's it. No camera equipment, no studio, no fancy software. Start by creating content for yourself. Prove the concept on your own account, then use that as your pitch to clients. Difficulty to hit $10,000 a month. 2 out of 5. At $2,000 to $3,000 per month retainer per client, which is on the lower end of market rate for this work, you need 4 to 5 clients to hit $10,000. And because it's a retainer model, meaning clients pay you every month, not just once, your income compounds as you add clients. So there you have it, 6 real side hustles that Aussies and young people around the world are using to build serious income right now. Not get-rich-quick schemes, not passive income fantasies. Real skills, real effort, real results. And remember what I told you at the start. You don't need a revolutionary idea. You just need to recognize what's already working and make it your own. The question now is simple. Which one of these are you going to start? Pick one, just one. Spend the next 30 days going deep on it. Not dabbling, actually committing. If you found this useful, I'd love if you hit subscribe. I put out new content every week, breaking down how everyday Australians can build wealth and income outside the 9 to 5. Drop a comment below telling me which side hustle you're most interested in, and I'll make sure to cover it in more depth in a future video. See you in the next one.